lawn care ninjas, you know what today is. Wacka Granny Wednesday, you know, where you just do a bunch of slice and dice and some granny yards. Hope you ninjas are doing good. How's it going? How you doing? Hey, listen. Today we had an interesting day. We've actually had showers on and off, but I'm not gonna bore you with a big talk. Today we're actually gonna get into some stuff, but I do wanna give you a quick update. We started late. Busy Bee had an emergency yesterday. Wanna know what it is? Of course you do. He actually broke his tooth. Can you believe it? Cracked his freaking tooth on a turkey sandwich. Anyway, he was in pain. Well, luckily it was right towards the end of the day. We got everything done, and we actually got ahead yesterday because we knew they were calling for some showers today, and we've had some showers on and off, and I think they're calling for some more showers later this evening. So we're caught up. So today I only had a few yards, but we had a late start because he had to go to the darn dentist. Cracked his tooth, ninjas, on a dang turkey sandwich. Anyway, but we knocked out a few yards. Didn't even care to record because I knew it was going to be a short day, and it is so humid and hot. It's still reading 90, and earlier was saying 98. So you know it's over 100 with the humidity. But I'm home. Busy Bee just left. In the morning we're gonna go get the mulch, and I want to leave it in the trailer for this weekend just in case they run out, because they just got a new fresh delivery, because we do have that big mulch job we have to do this weekend. Anyway, but today we're going to talk about something. So I have made the decision right there, as you can see, that Dodge right there, ninjas, right there. The Dodge will be going for a trade-in or for sale, one or the other, doesn't really matter, but it's going to be gone. With that being said, I am looking for another F-250. Not brand new, just a used one, and it doesn't have to be a diesel. It could be a gas burner. Matter of fact, I prefer it to be a gas burner, so that way I have one gas burner and a diesel. I don't really want to have both diesels, but anyway. So we're going to talk about a couple of things today. Two things. One, we're going to look at something that I need, because what Tiny has right now is going to go to the new, well, not new, but to the other truck eventually, right? So Tiny's gonna need a new one of these. What are we talking about? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm about to go out and show you. Okay. And number two, we're gonna go review and show you a new piece of equipment. What? That's always exciting, isn't it? It's always exciting when you get a new piece of equipment, whether you are demoing one, whether you buy one, doesn't really matter. It's always nice to see a new piece of equipment and get a full review on it. We have already used it one time. I am truly, truly in love with it, but without further ado and just blah 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 blah, let's get to it. I gotta park Tiny. I just backed up here and Busy Bee left, but let's go show you what I'm talking about as far as Tiny and the new truck, and then review the new piece of equipment. And just a real quick backstory to why I have decided to get rid of the Dark Knight over there. It's a great truck, there's nothing wrong with it. I love the truck, but I need a little bit more power. That truck is actually struggling to pull this trailer. The only way that truck would work is if I get another trailer, which I am planning on, but I don't have a set date on that, and I don't want to be rushed. And the problem is, if something happens with Tiny, for all you ninjas who are new maybe to the channel, this is Tiny, meet Tiny, okay? Tiny is a 2017 F-250 diesel, and it's a wonderful truck. I've had no issues with it, but you never know, things can happen, and I want to feel like my backup truck that I have can pull this trailer with all the equipment on it. So with that being said, I made the decision to go ahead and trade it or sell it. I'm going to try to trade it and just see what the value I'm going to be getting, and then if I'm not happy with that, then I'm just going to put it up for sale. But anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to it. What you're looking at here, ninjas, is the hitch system that I have set up with Tiny. So when I purchased Tiny, I discovered that Tiny has a big receiver right here, and it didn't fit what I had on the previous 2014. So I was forced quickly to go purchase a new one. And one thing with this system that I don't really like is I had to purchase a small receiver to fit into the big receiver, and then that way the smaller receiver can fit into this hitch. So with that being said, one of the downfalls to that is, as you can see right there, there's a lot of wiggle room. So I hear a whole lot of noises every time I stop and go. That's number one. Number two, it's not super easy to lift and adjust if I'm needing to. It's not actually super hard neither, but this is a rotating mechanism right here, and as you can see with it rusting away just because it's being used, I have discovered when I have to switch and change out the ball size, it's actually pretty hard. I'm having to stomp on it, beat on it, and force it to turn. As far as the height adjustments, you just pull out this pin and then you adjust it in these different size holes. Again, not a bad system. And I want to say I think it cost me about 200 bucks and some change, but I think there's better stuff out there. So with that being said, this I will not throw away. I will keep, of course, because it's still a functional hitch that works, and it's, you know, it's a good hitch. But I want something simpler, easier to adjust up and down, and you know, just something where I don't have to have a double receiver. I want a one size fit receiver that goes, or one size hitch that fits into this receiver. So if you ninjas have any suggestions, please let me know, as I am currently looking through all my options and searching online and just looking at a bunch of different ones that I will be putting on Tiny, because this one will be going to the other F250 once I get one. Anyway, but that is what I'm currently running. Like I said, not a bad system, but I would like to eliminate a lot of those noises that I am hearing every time I'm stopping, going, turning, because when you have loose metal like this holding this much weight, of course, and it plays a big role, and there's just a lot of movement going on right here. So that is what I wanted to show you as far as Tiny goes, what I'm talking about, what I'm looking into upgrading. All right, we are here in the shed. It is a mess as usual. Just haven't had time. I need to go ahead and do a bunch of rearranging. I need to do a bunch of maintenance. The Ferris just needs to get new blades, and of course just grease everything, but really just the new blades. And I just haven't had time. Here's the Ninja mower, of course. We got the Cartmate, the Snapper Pro, the battery powered push mower. Anyway, you get the point. But what I want to show you today is a new piece of equipment that I have picked up. And this piece of equipment I have used from the start of my business. Now, I've started my business 11 years ago. And when I started my business, ninjas, I would take on every and any job I could get to make some money. And I didn't know how big my business was going to turn into. I didn't know if this was going to be a success or not, of course. I did have a full-time job at that time, but I was determined. I was willing to take on everything and anything. Now, one of the services that I did a lot of when I started my business, I don't do as much today. I will still do it. I like to take on these particular type of jobs, a little more into winter, fall, maybe early spring. But then when I get really busy in the summer, late spring and throughout the summer, I get really busy with just mowing. And so I like to stick with mowing because one, I enjoy it. Two, I have quite a bit of clientele. And three, it's just the bread and butter of my business. That doesn't mean I don't offer this service. I do. And I will try to squeeze it in if I come across it, but it's not something that I am focused on as much as I was when I started my business. As you ninjas see, I have picked up a new pressure washer. This is a Simpson with the Honda GX 200 engine. Yep. I've had a pressure washer now for 10 years, give or take. And again, it was phenomenal. It did a great job. It did perfect for what I was doing at the time. Then I went a few years with very minimum usage. Like the last time I think I used it was pressure washing my own driveway. That was, I believe, about 2 years ago or so. And then it just sat. When I ended up getting a job here just recently, which I did not record, by the way, but I did kind of update all the ninjas on Instagram. We couldn't get it firing. We couldn't get it started. We cleaned the carb out. We put fresh fuel in there. It was shot. And I was like, okay, we've dedicated about an hour of trying to get it to run. I was like, I just don't have time for this. It's a 10-year-old unit. I just need to go pick one up. I've been meaning to pick a new pressure washer up anyway. Just haven't had time, and it's not something that is a priority. It's really more or less whenever I get free time. But now that I had a job and then the old one couldn't start, I was forced to go pick one up. They had several options, different options. There was one size bigger than this, and it was, I think, a 4,000 PSI, and it was a 3.5 GPM, I believe, don't hold me to that. And it was about $200 more. But as little pressure washing as I do, you know, like maybe my cars, the driveway, and occasionally have a pressure washing job, whether it be a driveway or house cleaning, I didn't feel like I needed to go get the bigger version. So I ended up going with the 3,700 PSI, 2.5 GPM, which stands for gallons per minute. And it did a phenomenal job on the pressure washing job that I just had last week. Like I said, it's got the Honda engine to it. Now here's the very cool thing about this that I feel like has changed since the old one that I had. So the old one that I had a plastic container that was part of the machine, part of the unit, and you would put in the cleaning product, whatever you put in, whether it be bleach, right, or whatever, any kind of siding, you know, chemical cleaning, or maybe some super clean. How about that? Anyway, but not only was my plastic all cracked and gone to heck, but it was a part of the unit. Now, one thing when I got this and I unboxed it, I was like, okay, what the heck is going on? Where do I put the cleaning supply, whatever? Like, for example, right here, I have some multi-purpose pressure washing concentrate, you know, oil, grease, mildew, stains, siding, gutters, roofing, patios, furniture, and more. Yeah, it's just something that I purchased. I've actually used this stuff before, and it seemed to be doing okay. But anyway, I was like, what the heck is going on? Where do I put that stuff? Well, to my surprise, now some of you ninjas who do a lot of pressure washing, this is not going to be news for you. But to my surprise, these new pressure washers, they don't have that plastic. They have this. And if you're wondering, but Nick, what are you talking about? What is that? This is a filterized, right there's the filter, little hose that you connect right here. Just like that. You bring whatever the chemical that you are using for whatever it is that you're getting ready to wash, and you basically just stick this, as you can see, there's a filter in there just like that. Now, you're probably wondering, is this gonna be used the whole time you're pressure washing? Because if that's the case, you're gonna go through about 10 of these before you finish a whole house or a big driveway. And that was my next question. I'm like, okay, well, I don't need this stuff while I'm pressure washing. Normally what I do with this is I would use it, I would spray it onto the siding, and I would let it sit for a few minutes, whatever, and then I would start pressure washing, because the old one had a switch where you could turn it on and off. Here's the cool part. Are you ready? When you connect all your hoses, your water hose, right, from the faucet, whatever, and then you connect your gun, these right here are your pressure nozzles. And each one releases different amounts of pressure. So the red one is the most powerful because it's 0. The yellow one is 15. The green one is 25. The white one is 40. And then look at this, ninjas. The black one, soap. So I was like, okay, I am confused here. What is going on? Why does that say soap? So what I've discovered is when you actually attach this head onto your gun and you use this black head, that is the only time it actually will use the chemical. When you finish spraying the whole house or driveway, walkway, whatever, with this black head, you take it back off and you put it back, and then you use whatever other one that you need. I think on the house I used the green one just to be safe. I felt like the yellow, definitely not the red, but a yellow one was going to be a little too strong, and the house wasn't really that dirty anyway. She just wanted a little touch up. When you take this head off, it stops using the cleaning product. When you put the white, green, yellow, or red head on your gun, it actually stops using that and just uses the water. Now that, my ninjas, is very, very slick and amazing. I was very impressed with that, is what I'm trying to say. So you put the black one, you're gonna use it, use the cleaning product, spray down your driveway, your house, take the black head off, whatever other one that you decide to use, it will stop using that, so you're not gonna waste it, and then you just rinse it off. I thought that was, it's really hot in here, ninjas, very humid today. I thought that was absolutely phenomenal. So whoever invented that, kudos to you, man. That is so cool. And I think the reason they went to this system here is because I would guess a lot of people complained with the white plastic over time just cracking. And that is what had happened to mine. One thing I would recommend if you are looking into purchasing a pressure washer and you are particularly looking at some Honda engines, there are two options. And being as we are, most of us at least, are commercial individuals, we would use these not just for our own homes, but of course for some jobs that you might land. So you're gonna put a lot more use on it. And I gotta take that off. You're gonna put a lot more use on it than your average homeowner. There's two different types of options and engines. As you can see, this says GX, and I believe the other one that is a lot weaker and not really designed as much for commercial use is GS, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely, I would recommend you going with the GX engine. They're just more heavy duty and designed to be heavy usage if you, let's say, had a couple pressure washing jobs even throughout the week. So anyway, I went with Simpson just because that's what one of my local retailers had. I'm not really picky on this stuff. It is not something that I use on a daily, kind of like mowers, for example. So I was due for one and I ended up getting it and I like it. So I think it was on sale too. So original price was about $7.49. When I got at the register, they rang it up for $6.99, I believe. So it was on sale, which I was like, hey, that's great. And hopefully this will last me a while. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to record at that job, but I'm sure I'll have some other jobs. If I don't, one thing I will do when I take care of all those overgrown shrubs around my carport, I will be pressure washing my driveway again. It is much, much needed. It's actually overdue because I like to do that at least once a year, and I think it's already been 2 years. So I will be making a video on this once we get it going again and we get to using it. But I wanted to introduce it to you. I wanted to show you guys. I have kind of shown this a little bit on Instagram. It's one of the cool things about Instagram. I try to show a lot of sneak peeks on there of things that I do and things that I encounter that may not always end up on YouTube. So it's one of the cool things about Instagram. It's just quick, easy upload, especially on the storylines. But anyway, But that's that. Like I said, I don't really use a lot of pressure washing. It's not something that I'm heavy usage in my business. I done a lot more pressure washing when I started my business, because at that time I was just trying to get every job and any job that I could. But I'm not at that point anymore. Now I'm actually focusing mainly on mowing. I'll occasionally tackle on some landscaping and mulching and planting some stuff and trees and shrubs and whatnot. And then stuff like this is just kind of on the side. But anyway, never hurts to have a good pressure washer around the house too. You never know. You could always use this to wash your mower, so you don't have to go take it to the car wash, even though I don't really mind taking it to the car wash. But one of the reasons I was taking it to the car wash as much is because I knew the old pressure washer was probably going to give me trouble, and I didn't want to fool with it. But anyway, it's not bad to have it around the house, like I said, and it will definitely come handy. Having something that you can depend on when you do get a job. That is it. Please let me know on the hitch what you guys would recommend. And we'll see you in the next one. I'll definitely try to probably have a good video tomorrow as far as just mowing wise, because we didn't really get to do too much today. I think we ended up doing like 5 or 6 or something like that. And it's super hot. I think more rain is on the way, but I hope all you ninjas are doing good. Thank you for tuning in for another video. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.